it, but then something really crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, it would be a bizarre turn of events. Even at 3-2, he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that is correct. What is happening? Why is Bishu fighting? Why is Mr. Bitter is actually like his heart is like torn apart right now.
Oh man, I'm a big Bishu fan. I'm also a big Nerchio fan.
Anyways, our first map is going to be played on Daybreak, guys. Of course, this is going to be PvZ between these two. Bishu just played his first series of the day. We were not able to see it as they were playing on the mainstream, and we were casting another game. I did hear that he lost against TLO.
Lost against TLO. I was reading the live report thread a little bit, and apparently Bishu was doing what Bishu does best, crazy stuff, and TLO was doing what TLO does best, also kind of crazy stuff, and he was making it work. TLO was able to come out on top. Waiting on Bishu to give us the go-ahead, and then we will rock it and roll it.
He's using his heating back, like he's warming up his hands or something.
I guess.
It's like one of those things that some players bring. It's like really hot, and then they put the warms in, the hands in, and then they touch the mouth. It's like, oh yes, now I got superpowers.
I used to use those and I'd put them in my socks.
Okay.
It keeps your feet warm, man.
They get kind of dirty as well. I wouldn't really want to touch them after.
What, the socks?
No, your feet. Or like the bags.
Well, you don't. You just throw them away.
Yeah, you only use them one time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you have a different idea of the heating bag than I have.
Wait, you reuse your heating bags?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a chemical thing. You just like shake it up and then after it's done, it's done.
I had something else in mind then. You know, like sort of like those cold things. You know, you freeze them up, it's cold.
Oh yeah, we're thinking about something else.
Yeah.
No, the ones the Koreans use are like there's like a chemical thing. And you break it and then you like shake it back and forth and it creates a chemical reaction.
Both players are ready, so we are ready to kick off our first PvZ of the day. I'm a little bit sad that we are not casting Night versus Torzen, as I think that's a super crucial game in group number B, as that's a must-win scenario for Torzen. And also, if Torzen wins, he sort of keeps Red's dreams alive, even though that's not sure yet. But that's kind of cool. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in that group. But I'm also curious to see if Nerchio is going to be able to finish on top of Group C, which was the Zerg group. I don't think that Bishu is very happy entering this group, man, as he could have joined Group B where there are lots of Protoss players, and I think Bishu's PvP is pretty good. Instead, he ended up in Group C where there's like 4 Zergs and 1 Protoss.
Man, Bishu's PvZ is so good. You just don't. What's?
It's
I don't
PvZ.
understand. I really like his PvZ.
I don't say I don't like his PvZ. I just don't think.
You don't think it's good?
Well, let's see how good it is.
Yeah, let's see indeed. Against Nerchio, one of the best
I mean,
Zerg versus Protoss in all of Europe.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just what I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about, sure, Bishu against any high Grandmaster League ladder player. Yes, I think his PvZ is excellent, man. But playing against these guys, I still think he would have rather played PvP than PvZ against someone like that.
That's certainly true. Certainly true. Nerchio is one of the big monsters that nobody really wants to play against.
And certainly TLO in the shape that he currently is. I'm not surprised to see TLO beating Bishu in the first series of today. TLO is playing some great StarCraft over the course of the last few months, and he's always been a really good player. He had his ups and downs, of course. He switched race a couple of times, and every now and then. TLO, I would say, is one of those guys who often beats himself as well. Yeah. He's so hard on himself, puts a lot of pressure on his own shoulders. Sometimes, like, insane amount of pressure. There's a couple of times I was talking with Dario, and I was just like, stuff that you're saying right now, you don't really have to be that hard on yourself. Yes, it's good to be hard. It's good to be critical, but you can also take it to the next level that you can basically never succeed. And that's not good either. Unless you like win 5 GSLs in a row. But it's a little bit unlikely, man.
I agree with what you're saying, though, man. TLO has been putting in a lot of work, and he's been seeing some real growth in his play. And I think the TLO that is here today is maybe the best ever. He's
skill-wise
3-1 in his group right now?
4-1, as he just beat Bishu. So TLO's done. He is going to advance. It's not guaranteed yet at which spot he's going to advance. Of course, he would love to win the group, which means he would automatically go to the quarterfinals. And that is, of course, everything that Nerchio is playing for right now as well. Bishu is just playing to keep his tournament dreams alive. And we can already see one of these things, as of course Bishu is our red Protoss spawning in the left bottom side of this map. Representing Team Dignitas, big shout out to Odie once more. Bishu Ben, he loves to open up a little bit differently. This is why you love his PvZ.
Yes. So many Protoss players, I would say 99.9% of Protoss players adhere to the philosophy of Naniwa, fast expand or die trying, or I guess Naniwa says forge expand or die trying, but this is kind of the era of Nexus first. Bishu does it differently. He plays gateway expand. So we've already seen the gateway going down in base, second pylon even, at the top of his ramp, not on the low ground. So this gives Bishu a lot of flexibility in his early mid game. He can apply pressure to Zerg at times that Zerg's not used to dealing with pressure. And it limits the amount that Zerg's able to drone. Players that are not the best of the best often freak out and underreact or overreact and just kind of misplay the situations. Nerchio is representative of the absolute cream of the crop. He's probably #1 or #2 in Europe. So I expect that he will show us the best possible reaction in this kind of a play style.
Nerchio is not a stranger, I mean Bishu is not a stranger to Nerchio, but I know that these two guys have played quite a bit against each other, and I know that Nerchio ain't crazy. Nerchio is not the type of Zerg player that is going to play like an absolute robot and just does nothing else, doesn't really scout and just relies on what he does best, and that is normally, of course, hit some sort of timings. He's going to go up to 3 bases super quick, but I am sure that Nerchio is going to adapt his play a little bit, but I'm sure that he's going to change a couple of things, knowing that he is playing against Bishu.
I'm really eager to see what Bishu's going to do. I don't know. Does he know about this third base yet? I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't.
But when he figures it out, I mean, that is a super fast third base. And one of the real strengths of the gateway opening is you have faster warp gate. You can apply pressure so much more quickly that these kinds of fast 3-base styles are a little bit less viable, in my opinion.
Man, Nerchio's making a lot of links already, Ben. He has 18 links on the map right now. Still 6 links are in production, so we're going to have 24 to 28 slow links. And this is one of those things, man, if this happens online, people are like, yeah, this is Nerchio, online everything. Like, it's kind of weird. No, Nerchio has just excellent game sense. Look at the amount of units that Bishu has right now, but he has 1 sentry.
This is
He has 1
actually
sentry.
terrible for Bishu. What is he going to do? He's going to have to try to hold his ramp. He's going to back up. He's going to drop the force field. This is a good force field.
He's going to have to. He's going to have 1 more additional force field soon, but
Bishu's locked out of his house, man, and he's going to lose the Nexus.
I mean, he's going to try to save it. He's going to Chrono Boost an Immortal out, but this is close to impossible. There are so many slow links over here from Nerchio. Nerchio forcing another force field. There is 1 more force field over here for Bishu.
What a perfect reaction to what Bishu is doing. I am
Nerchio is
just
so
blown away.
smart, man.
I am just blown away. Who says, all right, let's go for a slow link attack?
Nerchio, I mean, he started with the Overlord, and as I said, Bishu is not a stranger to Nerchio. Nerchio is not going to go robot mode, man. Nerchio knows how to play against his opponent. That is what he does right now. If this happens online, people always say, oh, it's suspicious, blah, blah, blah. No, Nerchio is just this good.
And he did this off of like 24 drones, man.
He's going to cancel again, man. There's not enough DPS in this Protoss army.
I don't think so, and that Nexus will.
Oh, no
Bishu,
cancel.
very sloppy.
Man.
And ouch, that's a very painful mistake. He's going to go ahead and Chrono Boost the second Immortal. And I guess we're just going to see probably like a 4-gate with Immortals.
It's like, Bishu, that's not a Nexus. I think this Nexus is misplaced. What? It's the gateway.
I think it's for the Overlord, but the Overlord doesn't see it.
It's so cool. Man, this is next level Minecraft. I love this. This has to be my favorite gateway of all time.
It's smart, actually, but
this is amazing.
But I don't think that Nerchio is going to fall for it. Warp Prism's on the way. It's going to be 5-gate. 5-gate Warp Prism all in.
It's not a full wall up yet for Bishu, but it will be soon. And we see the Warp Prism indeed, Ben, as you mentioned, is on the way. Yeah, Bishu has 1 shot. Zergling speed is not ready yet. But I mean, how many sentries and Immortals can you really make? Wow, Bishu is like how many gates is it? Like 2, 4, 5?
What?
6 gate
what?
at 1 base.
You can't even do anything with that.
Yes, you can.
Immortals and Sentries out in the middle of the map are going to get surrounded. 1 Sentry gets squeezed through the force fields.
No, this sentry is like on the ground. He's like a hipster.
He's like, I want to be a broad roach.
Yeah. You see the Warp Prism over here as well. These links are going to try to work on these sentries. Bishu warping in 2 sentries at a time.
Now, this is still a kind of a scary attack.
Yeah, this is super scary.
But the problem is the energy is not really had time to build up. So I feel like Nerchio should be able to deal with this.
I think Nerchio can lose 2 out of 3 bases and still be in good shape.
It's true, because even if Bishu wanted to expand, he
can. Bishu can't expand. Nerchio doing a really, really good job forcing a lot of preemptive force fields, so Bishu's using way more energy than he would like to. This is, of course, not a +1 attack, as there's no forts, and he never really researched +1.
Baneling Nest isn't ready yet. Zergling Speed's about to finish. It does finish, and those are not really good force fields at all.
I mean, it's kind of hard to make good force fields with this army, man.
It's true, and
Oh.
that's all she wrote for game 1. GG. That was kind of silly.
That was an amazing game.
Aren't you glad we're casting this?
Yes, I know. I mean, Thursday versus Night and 35-minute macro game. Who cares? This is what StarCraft 2 is all about. No, I mean, I really think this is a little bit unfortunate for Bishu. We can laugh about it, and I'm sure that he laughs about it as well, because this is one of those games, man, when it rains, it pours, everything goes wrong. You try to cut a few corners, you play against one of the smartest Zergs in Europe, makes 20 point slow links, you make a force field, you knock yourself out of your own expand, and
we talk about build order counters on occasion.
Yeah.
I think that was probably about as close as you can get to a true build order counter.
But it's not even, I mean, yes, it's a build order counter, but Nerchio opens up standard. Nerchio opens up like he would do any other game on Daybreak, but he scouts immediately and he knows the weakness of this build.
That's what I mean. I mean, like, it's like playing rock, paper, scissors when the other guy goes first. It's like, all right, let's do this. No, that's not what Nerchio did at all.
I just don't like the video, man.
Nerchio just pulled out the sledgehammer, smashed the hell out of those scissors.
All right.
Great read by Nerchio. Unfortunate turn of events for Bishu, but I mean that was just that was one of the best Zergs in Europe, showing that he came to play. We're gonna take a short break, guys. We'll be back with game number 2 right after this. Welcome back to DreamHack Winter 2012. The final DreamHack of the year, we might call this.
Yep, the final.
The final.
Le finale.
Le final.
End. Le end. Le end. It's just the end.
Le fin. We are about to start game number 2, Bishu versus Nerchio. Need these guys to switch colors really quickly, and then we will hit the go, go, go button. And then we will go, go, go.
Second map is going to be played on Ohana. Curious to see how Bishu is going to open. Bishu is not your regular Protoss player. He's probably still going to do something Bishu-like. It's hard to say what, as he has a lot of weird timings. He has a lot of cool, unique builds. A very distinctive playstyle.
Yep.
But as we saw in the first game, and I think really that was the highlight of the first game. If there was one highlight, it was just Nerchio showing that
perfect read.
He has a brain.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't play like a robot. He doesn't play programmed. It's not like, okay, he might play 40, 50 games a day, but he still thinks about what he's playing against. He's not just doing everything on automatic pilot. He's still thinking when he's playing. He sees something, realizes the weakness immediately, and yeah, I really think that's all that we can take from game number 1, Ben.
You have to really respect that ability to recognize something and say, I know how to win from here, and then just to execute it. It's really easy to go on autopilot. I think that's the analogy you used, where you just kind of go through the motions and take your 3 bases, drone up, and then all of a sudden you're getting smashed by some weird gateway timer.
Yeah, it's like, this comes 45 seconds quicker than I'm used to.
Instead, Nerchio saw what his opponent was up to, and he punished it in a big way. You did point out, Kevin, that these guys have played against each other a lot in the past.
Yep.
I mean, there's a absolutely high-level chance that Nerchio just knows, all right, if I get Bishu and he does this, I'm going to do that, and it's going to be a win.
I mean, it's still hard to figure out what Bishu does, because we casted Bishu quite a bit this season, as Bishu has been one of the players in the NASL Season 4, and yeah, he's been at least at 1 or 2 IM events as well that we casted. And he's been at Home Story Cup once, which we casted him. But overall, I mean, yes, Bishu plays super different, but at the end of the day, you might know that he plays different, but it's still kind of hard to figure out how different he really is going to play. What is his strategy going to be? So you still need to scout a lot. You can't blindly say, okay, Bishu is going for this 6K attack or +1, or he's going for this robo play attack. He has a couple of really unique and, as I said, unorthodox build, but you're still going to have to scout to figure out which one he's using.
It does look like he's going to be playing the more standard style here on Ohana. I think he's going to go for a Nexus first. Nerchio just went 14 spawning pool, which usually is followed up by a 16 hatch. So this is absolutely the most standard opening to an Ohana game that you can ask for.
Bishu, of course, going for the early probe scout as he wants to make sure that Nerchio doesn't throw out an early pool, something that Nerchio was known for quite a while. He loved opening up early pool against Protoss just to be annoying. Somehow, some way, Nerchio always got links in the opponent's space.
Yeah.
This is really frustrating to watch.
I actually talked to Nerchio about how he plays EVP once in the past, and he says, okay, well, you just open up, get lings in their base, and then do this certain set of transition. I was like, wait, what? Get lings in their base?
Yeah.
How is that part of the build order? He's like, well, it just happens.
His links are like oils, you know, like they kind of squeeze through.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
Of course, Nerchio is a Polish Protoss player. In this case, he is the blue Zerg spawning on the left top side of Ohana, and Bishu is our Swedish Protoss, spawning in the right bottom side, representing Team Dignitas. Nerchio, of course, representing Team Eizo. Nerchio has had a super successful 2012 ban. He's the winner of the most recent DreamHack event, the one that was hosted in Bucharest. He defeated his teammate Ace Bly in the final.
Yep, also won Home Story Cup, also finished second at Gamescom.
Yes, so a super successful year. He won the Polish WCS qualifiers. Just overall a really successful year for Nerchio. Definitely his breakthrough year.
Yeah.
Even though in 2011 Nerchio was pretty damn good and we were fans of him already, and he was having a couple of reasonable results, but this is the year where he really started to win.
2011 he was winning a lot online. He won Battle in Berlin. But a lot of people were still kind of considering him an online hero. Now he's really emerged as a
superstar, man.
Yeah, a LAN presence as well. And he's made his team very proud, man. Acer has become a pretty premier team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they started off kind of funny, like only recruiting Zergs, but they were just ahead of the curve, man.
Didn't they just pick up MMA? Am I crazy?
Yes, I read that as well.
So, like, they're now probably one of the best teams on the planet. They've got Nerchio, they've got Scarlet, they've got MMA, they've got Bly.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, actually.
And there's a couple other players that I'm overlooking.
I think Paranoid is still on the team.
They used to have Elfie, but now Elfie is...
with Aces Rock.
That's right.
I think Paranoid is still on the team.
Yeah, he's another Polish Zerg.
Yep, and they used to have Monarch one, but he's kind of inactive. But yeah, they love Zergs, man.
It's like Zergs and the ultimate Zerg killer.
Right now, MMA switches to Zerg as well. Oh my god, Terran players worldwide start crying. C+1 being researched by Bishu over here, man, and taking a close look, he did not take any additional assimilators yet.
Yep.
Ooh, this kind of starts working on these destructible rocks. Bishu. Is he gonna go up?
I don't actually know what to think of that.
Yeah.
But Bishu's a guy who is characterized by his timing pushes. And I would be very surprised if we didn't see at least 4-gate pressure. I'm almost expecting like a 6-gate +1.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling as well, but then I'm wondering why he's taking out these destructible rocks. He might just want to sell it a little bit more convincingly. This is Bishu after all. But hell, he would sure as hell catch me off guard, Ben, if he suddenly go up to super quick 3-base.
Yeah. Zealot out in the middle of the map being microed pretty well, but does get picked off by a couple of Zerglings.
It's pretty much all that died though, so far in this game. Nerchio just having 4 legs on the map right now, and besides that he's just droning up as quick as he possibly can. Did not sacrifice an Overlord yet, Ben, which I'm a little bit surprised by, as he has no idea what Bishu spent his Chrono Boost on earlier. This is 7 minutes into this game. There's one Stalker is now across the map as well. Wow, Bishu is actually going for the super quick 3 Nexus.
Wow.
Nerchio wouldn't be Nerchio if he didn't have an Overlord here.
And he sees it immediately. He's already got the Roach Warren down. He's getting his lair.
He doesn't have link speed though.
Nerchio can punish this in a couple of different ways. He's probably not going to make a bunch of slowlings and walk across the map this time. That wouldn't work with +1 out, and with Bishu certainly going to be adding in some gateways soon. But with his lair finishing up, he's going to have a lot of possible like Roachling timings. What is going on right now? These Gangnam style stalkers over here. Hey.
There were
sexy stalker.
There were sexy ladies in the bushes, man. Layer is gonna go. Layer is down. Zergling speed is being researched right now. Nerchio starts making some links, but I think Bishu is gonna make quite a few cannons over here, man. I love this position of this one cannon. I would even say make an additional second cannon. You know, you never know if Nerchio goes super aggressive. You might as well.
Yeah, probably gonna throw one down behind these 2 pylons that are building. Would be my guess. Nerchio's just cleaning out his own rocks so that he has easy access to all 3 of his bases, and well. You know, I kind of think we're just going to see Nerchio take a 4th, honestly.
Wow, 7, 8 gates right now on the way, Ben. That's bizarre.
More than Bishu can support right now, but he'll be able to make use of them.
I might just go for kind of like what we saw Hero do against 4GG earlier in this tournament, Ben. Even though that was, of course, a PVT, but you remember the build?
Yep, it was like an 8-gate.
Of 3 base. It was super quick 3 base though, and this was a super quick 3 base.
Maybe Bishu is aware of that sort of style. Nerchio is pushing forward right now with some soon-to-be speedlings. There's a hole. There's a gap. It's in the natural. Is that a full wall, or is there a hole? No, in the natural.
This is full wall.
Oh.
Where? You mean?
Between these two pylons?
No, there.
That's a type. It's tight.
Yes. Super tight, man.
It looks like there's a hole, man.
That's
You gonna tell me that a Zergling couldn't fit through there?
Nope. Not a Zergling.
Maybe a automaton.
Maybe an automaton. More and more links being produced right now by Nerchio. Is also researching pathogen glands. Of course, the Infestors would be absolutely fantastic against this gateway-only army from Bishu. Nerchio's going to try to counter immediately. There's only a single cannon over here, Ben. It's a brilliant move.
Uh-oh, and he's just going to go hold position on 2 of these probes, and then he's going to run back. And actually, Bishu was pulled back a little bit by that, so mission accomplished by Nerchio. Kills a probe and slows down the push.
He's going to surround 2 Zealots over here, maybe take out the pylon. So far, so good for Nerchio. This is still going to be a little bit scary. Wow, that's a massive weapon. Bishu giving away all of his attentions if it wasn't clear enough yet.
Yeah, warped in 8 Zealots
no,
there. Oh, this is it too! Oh, wow, those force fields are actually phenomenal.
Yep.
Like perfect force fielding there by Bishu, and that's going to buy him a lot of time. Nerchio's got to disengage from that. It's 115 supply to only about 97.
Oh, this pylon is so crucial though. Good force field. Well, the second force field wasn't necessary, but really good force field. Man, I'm starting to dig Bishu's position a little bit, man.
Yes, sir. 110 supply to about 120 supply, but the Infestors are out, and there's one great fungal. A second fungal's almost certainly going to follow. Yes, it does. Will it matter, though, as the Zealots are coming forward? Oh, Bishu tries to split. He's going to lose up. He's going to lose all of his sentries almost. Only, I think, a single sentry remaining with energy. But these Zealots, man, they are just crushing the Zerglings. Roaches are in production, but it might be too late, Kev.
I think so, too. I don't see a way where all of these Zealots and all of these Stalkers are going to die. These pylons are so crucial. Nerchio needs to take out this pylon if he wants to survive some way. But there are so many gateway units.
And actually, those rocks never got taken down. Bishu's going to go ahead and finish him off as he kills this third base. Drones are being sent to every corner of the map right now, but Nerchio's in big trouble, man. He's got 5 more Infestors on the way. He's building a lot of Spine Crawlers. He's building a lot of Roaches.
Wow, Nerchio lost like 2 or 3 Infestors already.
He's got a lot of
fungal right now.
that
would be sick.
Yes, sir. That is a perfect fungal, and he just needs a couple more of those.
Whoa, that's like one of the sickest fungals we've seen in this tournament. All a couple of drones coming in.
And he's going to use Infested Terrans here with the rest of his energy. I'm not sure if that's the best use. We'll see.
He will stabilize, at least for now. But the better thing is for Bishu, man. Bishu's up to 3 bases.
Yeah, that's the really ridiculous thing.
That's another massive fungal. And 7 Roaches in production, while Nerchio might actually just hold here, man.
But even if he holds, I think Bishu's in okay shape.
No, but if you lose all those gateway units, man. I mean, yes, he's in okay shape, but it's not game over for Nerchio.
No,
wow, those fungals, man.
It's just not game over, period. The last of these Stalkers are almost certainly going to all be picked off. Zealot's going to come get in the mix.
Yeah, they're going to get out microed. All Stalkers will die. Beautiful play here by Nerchio. Lands some absolutely crucial fungals on that ramp. Oh, wow, that's a big Stalker weapon.
Now, one thing that Bishu has not been doing, Kevin, this entire time is producing probes. He's on just
transition.
49 probes. He's only now starting his Twilight Council.
Well, but I actually think Bishu's overcommitting a little bit. He's making more and more Stalkers, but these Roaches, a really nice micro over here by Nerchio.
Phenomenal dancing. Just dancing around the Zealots. He'll pick off a lot of Stalkers. He'll kill off these Zealots as well.
Wow, Bishu's really overcommitting a little bit right now.
Yeah,
he knows it.
Absolutely. He should have pulled back after that, basically after those last sets of fungals.
I mean, he made around 8 Stalkers too many, and that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, very, very expensive. We look at resources lost, we can see that these players have traded almost evenly at this point. So what started out really good for Bishu has become kind of like just a wash. And if we look in the third base, there's not really any probes mining there either. So this third expansion that we made such a fuss about never really did anything for Bishu.
Charge is being researched right now, which I find a super odd transition, because I would have loved to see Blink Stalkers, man. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy, but I think charge lots are okay, kind of in this sort of weird situation. We have no upgrades on your Roaches.
Yeah, but there are quite he knows there's going to be a lot of Infestors out, no? And I think Fungal Grove is massive. Oh, Fungals are going to land once more in this Protoss army, but the force fields are reasonable, but I'm curious to see what these Infested Terrans will do.
Nothing. Bishu's just going to walk away. And may end up losing a pylon, but I think Bishu's going to be just fine here.
Wow, Nerchio's just going to try to counter right now. He's making still a lot of Roaches. He's down 11 workers, so he's going to have to deal some serious amount of damage.
Roaches are just going to walk right in. Bishu's fighting the Infested Terrans for some reason. There's a big warp in, in the natural, a lot of zealots are going to be made to try and deal with this. But these roaches they're going to walk right up into the main now. These roaches are on like a sightseeing tour.
Whee! Proto City is beautiful.
Oh, this is what a Protoss base looks like. It's amazing.
What are these probes doing here?
Don't feed the probes, guys.
Meanwhile, Nerchio's going to try to counter over here. That's that's a pretty sick pylon.
And
he's going to try to counter over here. There are not that many Protoss units around here.
This is actually great play from
Yeah.
Nerchio.
This is bizarre how he's turning this around.
Yeah, really splitting Bishu up. Bishu made a couple of choices with a couple of mistakes with how he chose to engage there, and because of it, Nerchio's just kind of running him over. He's done a ton of damage in the main. He's done a ton of damage in the natural, and now the third base.
But I mean, I still feel that this is about it. I don't think he's going to be able to finish off Bishu here. And Bishu might still be able to stabilize. Nerchio is still making so many roaches. It's bizarre because he's only on 52 drones.
Yeah, it's a low eco game, and this is kind of what happens when Bishu plays because of his weird aggressive style.
Don't you think that Bishu should have just made 2 additional cannons over here in the first place?
Yes, I do.
I think that would have saved this, made his life a whole lot easier.
Nerchio finally going to start returning to droning. 7 drones on the way. Bishu's going to, I guess, is that his first robo going down?
Yeah. He
17
made Twilight instead of Robo and then
17
started
minute Robo.
researching Charge. He didn't even power the Twilight after he...
Charge never actually finishes. Where is the Twilight Council?
Over here, it's where all the gateways were unpowered. In the main base, man. Main base.
Oh, I see. Charge being researched now once again, so I guess we're going to see... I don't know what we're going to see, honestly, at this point. Nerchio is continuing to add to his drones. He's making a few more infestors. He's trying to round out those upgrades a little better.
Templar Archives is going down, so we might actually see Bishu moving out once more out of 3 bases. This time with Chargelot's Immortal Archon.
Yeah.
That's something we've seen lately, which is super strong. I think it's much stronger, though, if there's just 2 Colossus in the mix. Because those 2 Colossus, they make sure that the Lings are not as scary as they would normally be. But of course, Archons are pretty damn good against Lings as well.
It's true, especially when they have great upgrades. Bishu is working on his +2 already. Still not a single upgrade on these roaches, man.
No, they have upgrades.
No.
He's upgrading the Lings then.
Yeah, he's investing in Zergling upgrades, which is better ultimately in the late game.
Roaches don't need upgrades, man. They're still very good. You remember that game, Curious against Titan? There's like so many roaches. We're like, oh my god, the Protoss army, nothing's dying, and we see the upgrades like 3-1 against 0-0.
Yeah.
It's like ah.
I mean, that's kind of what I worry about here, is as Nerchio's upgrades have been a little bit neglected. The Zerglings are going to be pretty effective. Bishu is starting to muster a pretty respectable army here. He's got his first couple of Archons. He's got Immortal out, and he's continuing to produce gateway units. And charge lots, I mean, yeah, Fungal can really shut down Zealots in a big way, but if you have a lot of charge lots, they just sort of start swarming you.
This is crucial, by the way, man, for Nerchio. Nerchio's going to get a massive scout up over here with these 2 borrowed infestors. He might actually be able to kill probes. I don't even think, like, I would just keep him here for a little while, silly as it sounds. I wouldn't want to do it right now. I would rather wait until Bishu decides to move out.
Yeah, why not? Why not? A couple more infestors at the front here, man. Nerchio is like on this freaking ninja assassin mission. He's hoping like hell that Bishu doesn't make a single observer.
He's like playing Assassin's Creed.
This is a mistake if he goes up into the natural, where there is probably going to be a cannon, but...
Oh!
Yeah. Bishu's like, oh, thanks.
Oh, 2 infestors. Nerchio is actually just going to unburrow and fungal most of these probes. He's going to kill pretty much all of them. It's a good move, no doubt about that. But imagine, man, if he would have just waited until Bishu move out and then spawn a lot of infested Terrans, he takes out this Nexus. I think which would be even more crucial. Wow, and Bishu is not going to break this, man, with Chargelot Archon Immortal. Not today.
Yeah, the Spinecrawler wall is going to create real problems. You have to have Colossi for something like this,
or like 8 Immortals, but...
Or some Tempests.
That was pretty good. Observer flies in, but oh, there's something in the back of our base, guys. There's a little purple bar. These infestors will die. 3 beach balls will be spawned, but they won't be able to achieve anything.
Stalkers hate fun. They flatten the beach balls.
Man, what a crazy game by Nerchio. Yeah, I think any other Zerg would have just... I think a lot of Zergs would have left. I can imagine one Zerg that would have just left. Other Zergs would have probably just lost. Nerchio hang in there. Of course, Bishu dramatically overcommitted, and at a certain point, he really didn't have to anymore. While Nerchio's gonna just counter once more with so many Zerglings.
This might force Bishu to just all in here, and I think that's exactly what we're gonna see. He doesn't look like he wants to turn around at all. He's just going for it. He's got a couple of hallucinated Colossi in the mix. That's a little bit funny after BWC. Fourth base is going to get shut down, and here comes the big fight. Zealots and Archons, Stalkers and Immortals coming in from every angle. Spinecrawler's doing great work. Infested Terrans thrown down in mass. Not much fungal being used, but I don't know if it matters.
The Infested Terrans will make a hold, but the Roaches, of course, dealing a really good job as well. This Protoss army looked stronger than it actually was. Nerchio will hold it. The Lynx clean everything up, and Bishu calls GG.
Yeah, pretty one-sided series there. Nerchio asserting his dominance. He is one of the best Zerg players in all of Europe, maybe the best.
Finishing 4-1 in this group, Ben, and I also think that he has he beat TLO in the head-to-head match because I think Nerchio lost to Munchi, so
that's right.
This is actually looking really good for Nerchio, and Nerchio might finish on top of Group C.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it comes down to map score or head-to-head score first.
I think
we'll find out about that.
Map score first, and of course Munchi could potentially still go 4-1 as well. Taking a look at the map scores right now, Munchi actually has the best map score. He's 7-2. Nerchio is 6-3, so he's 8-3 right now. If Munchi wins 2-0, I actually think that Munchi is the one going to win this group.
8-3 better than 9-5?
Yes, of course. It's +5, +4.
But it's less wins.
It's +5 against +4, man.
Okay, is 4-1 better than 3-1? Okay, that argument doesn't hold up. But it's more wins.
I'm not going to go there with you.
I'm just asking.
No. I mean, +5 is better than +4, man. It doesn't really matter.
But 9 wins is better than 8.
+5 is better than +4. If they would have had both +4, but then one guy had 9 wins and the other one 8, yes, then 9 is better. But it's +5 against +4. What is better, 5 points or 4 points?
9 points is better than 8 points.
Okay, man. Let's put it like this: what is better, winning 5 best of 3s with 2-0, or winning 4 out of 5 best of 3s? Okay, 5 best of 3s 2-1, or 4 out of 5 2-0, and then losing 1.
I don't actually know what you just said, so
Okay,
I'm just going to send it off to commercial, guys. We got another best of 3 coming up.
You're
Not
silly,
sure who
man.
it's going to be, but we'll be right back.